thank you for joining us and welcome to the studio. Once again, we have in the studio an honorable member, Honorable Ben Etanabene Ben, the honorable member representing Okpe, Sepler, Uwe Federal Constituency. Honorable, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, sir. Yes.
As usual, I have my friendly flange. So you'll be helping me to talk to you.
You're welcome.
Honorable.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You guys look alike.
No, it's this BS. It's old age.
Right on, sir.
Thank you.
It's a great thing to have you in the studio today because we could see the battle, you've been fighting. I wouldn't say the leading, let it not be like I'm giving you, all the credit, but the battle you've been leading, for Nigerians, and in most cases they do not even know, to be in the house and stand, for the people, and stand for Nigerian people, and stand for what Nigerian people want, not minding whose horse is God. It's not easy. Can you give us a background why you choose to do this?
Okay, thank you very much. Nice to meet. Very nice and handsome men like this. Unfortunately, the summary, in the hearts of Nigerians is that everybody in the National Assembly, is a rubber stamp.
Yeah.
Everybody has compromised. Nobody is doing anything, on the side of the people. For all they care. There's no difference. That is a general opinion.
It's true.
But it's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true at all. One bit. It's just that it doesn't pain my heart anymore. That is the impression of people. They might not just be right.
Yeah.
I know that in that house from day one, when some of us enter that house, we're going to be real opposition members.
Yeah.
We're going to be real opposition. So from day one, I in particular, from day one, the first week that we were sworn in, when we were learning the nitty-gritty of moving motions, my first motion was to investigate what happened, in that glitch of 2023.
Yeah.
Just look at it.
Interesting.
And see, where we can make improvement, or if it is human error, electronically, or whatever the case may be, Secondly, I reacted to Mr. President's removal of subsidy.
Yeah.
And I said that it's dead on arrival, and it will not work. All those palliatives they are talking about, will not work.
Yeah.
There's nothing that this government has thrown to the house that me and many of us have not reacted, in the real sense of true opposition.
Yeah.
But the voice of the majority, will always drown us. If not, it's a real battle. Can tell you that. You don't have access to our page. You don't have access to executive sections. But honestly speaking, in those areas, I will touch my chest and say the house very, very strong opposition.
Interesting. Okay, let me follow up with a question from what you said. You were interested in knowing what happened, around the glitch, the famous glitch. To the extent they were calling Prof. Mahmoud Mr. Glitches. Has anything been done in that regard, or if nothing has been done, are you still interested in knowing what happened, or you think the act that is just signed now has taken care of that?
You see, maybe if I say this, I will probably be exciting those people who were not too comfortable when Mikey Guinea said that he got fed up.
Yes.
If not that I'm elected, and I found myself in this assembly direction, me, I'm fed up. I'm really fed up. My idea about a country is that all of us, we are putting our heads together to see how the country can be better for all of us. Yes. That's social contract. That's the whole idea of a social contract, theory. People come together to form government. It's not like one person is taller or shorter that will now say, you become our president, you become our governor. We just agree. So we're electing you people so that you can make governance better, for everybody. But honestly speaking, Nigeria is just one country that I believe strongly that people are wired negatively, you know, especially those who are elected or whatever the case may be, found themselves, you know, in the seat of governance. What is election? Election process is the gateway that we all agreed that we should use to bring credible leaders. We should bring leaders that we all agree, you know, that this man has capacity, you know, to lead us, you know, well. Now, if we decide to make regulations for the elections, then the people who are supposed to really design it, they are now using words that would make it possible, you know, for us to do otherwise from what we collectively, you know, agree that we should do. Then I do not see, you know, that as people who want this country to grow. There's no difference between the issues that caused the glitch in 2023 and what we have today, passed by the president. There's no difference, you know, in the sense that when they say if the proviso, if there's no network, on Nigeria, network no go there. That for the next meeting, I'm telling you, network no go there. If you want to do transfer of money, better do it a day before the election. Everywhere, even areas where people have been enjoying network before. If you like, go and get your small booster. You will not get network. Are you getting me? You don't make provisos like that. Provisos of failure. In this, you make alternative to complement what you have, which is be the substantive one. Not that you just sit down, you just go and make alternative of failure. Then you now open the failure in such a way that you know to be manipulated. Let me tell you what I think they want to do. They are going to be different EC8A from EC8A. They are going to be different from EC8A, which is the result. You know. By the time the presiding officer will be telling us that there's no network, with one from EC8A, you know, Nigerians, when they want to do fraud, they try to open the space for you to think, you know, that they are transparent. So they will ask people to come and sign that form. Don't worry, look at it. Take your copy. Take your copy. From that moment to the collation, it's at the collation you will see the reform. Yes. That corresponds, you know, with the serial number, with what INEC has in their office. Yes. Now, if you begin to argue there that it is not, they will announce the result and they will tell you to go to court. That's what they will tell you. You now come to court with the fake one. So when you go, the one at the real police station will turn out to be the fake one. So that is not good, you know. But me, I'm very optimistic that Nigerians are getting very, very conscious of election, you know, matters, and the Nigerian people, they are the ultimate, you know, power, and I'm very, very, you know, confident that they will be disappointed. You know, the Nigerian people will make those who want to achieve this their objective. Nigerian people will disappoint them. Amen. You know, it has happened before. And, you know, and it will happen again. Let me just give you one example. In my election, the after voting, somewhere at the Petroleum Training Institute, they now said there's no network to upload. You know, that they want to come to the collation center, which is exactly, you know, what this exactly. A doctor friend of mine, medical doctor, who was at the polling unit, insisted that no, the law says that you must transmit in a real time. All this grammar, they are in the INEC regulations. It's not just that we're bringing it to the act now. So the guy said no. He says you must transmit this thing. Now, the guy said no network. So he told me that, look, this guy will not live here today. Me, I was scared of chaos. I said you shouldn't worry. That if they say no network, I said let them go. I've heard the stories from many places. So and I've asked them to come. Say no, I should not have asked them to come. Say that is gimmick. I was confused. I said, I can at this stage. we want to do the right thing, and people will be doing the
Wrong
thing.
thing, yes.
So I told the guy that no, you should allow the presiding officer to come. He said he will not allow the presiding officer to come. Not up to 1 hour. He called me. He said, I told you now, the thing has been uploaded. That the man was supposed to do it. You know, you will see what Nigerians will do.
Yes.
At that time. We challenge
there will be
this
network.
that network will come. If you say no, the people will bring alternative.
Yes.
You know,
yes,
to that network. It's not possible. We must get this country right.
Honorable, let me first of all, you're quite an interesting person. He's a member of the Labour Party, as it is, so that all Labour should look at him and also know that there are a lot of good people in the National Assembly.
Yes.
He was not a past member. He's still a member of the National Assembly. So your dossier, a little bit of it says he's known for being vocal about national issues. He said, including declining annexation of the legislature by the executive and advocating for judicial and electoral reform. How are you able to stay your ground in spite of the so many battles that goes on at the National Assembly?
No. This is very simple. This is very simple. We want to make a country a better place for all of us.
Yeah.
And there are many components, you know, we put together. It makes the country better place.
Yeah.
One, if there's a ruling party, it is only right that there should be opposition.
Yes.
You know, it is good. I celebrate opposition. That's what they told us, you know, in the books, democracy.
Yeah.
If not, then we should just go for a military government.
Exactly.
You know. But anybody that is ruling under democracy should always celebrate when he sees opposition. Because opposition will make you see the areas that you are not looking at.
Exactly.
Opposition will help you, give you feedback, you know, in places where there are praise singers, you know. So me, from day one, I made up my mind. The day I find myself as opposition, I will do opposition work. The day I find myself as ruling party, I will have to look up to opposition, you know. So it's a complementary thing for all of us, you know, to go and achieve a better country for Nigeria. But you see, in doing that, the possibility of being influenced, you know, by many factors. When I was coming, I visited my monarch, and he told me, say, you see, when you go there, you have to negotiate, you have to belong, you have to find a way, lobby. You know, this word lobby, you know, it's used in a form, you know, like compromise.
Which is not true.
This
is not what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Lobby is normal.
Yes.
Good, you know. So when he was telling me that, and I said, me, I will lobby. I'm a very friendly person, so I'm not a sadist. I don't go to a place and I don't make friends. And so surely I'm going to get friends.
Yeah.
But we know where friends stop. You know, if we are proceeding towards doing what is wrong, you're not going to find me there, no matter the incentive. You know. So there are a lot of inducement, you know, going on. You can be made chairman of very lucrative committee, you know, because you want to play along. Many of us are not going to accept that, you know. And I think they know us from day one, even before we were sworn in. You know, in the course of where some persons were canvassing for, you know, to become leadership. You know, they met many of us. I personally just look and I thought, see, we were 7 living in one small hotel, you know, somewhere, and one of the aspirant came and took the 7 of us, you know, to not the Transcorp now, the other one.
Abuja Continental.
Yes, Continental, you know, and said he's relocating us, you know, here till we go, we eat the way you want and all those stuff. And that was almost 3 months. 6 were accommodated. I went back to the hotel I was staying.
You done the job before now.
No, it's
Because of principle.
about job before. I like that guy, no doubt, but it doesn't fit squarely into my expectations of who you know should become speaker at that particular time. Not that it's not good, it's good, you know. So it depends on your discipline, not to fall into this lobbying or temptation of being bribed, you know, against your conscience. I will not. at my age, I'm above being bribed to do what is not for my mind. You know, how many times do we eat a day? Maybe once in twice.
Yeah, maximum.
You know, then how many bottles of beer can you drink? If you do it too much, you become losers to yourself. How many rooms can you sleep in your house? Certainly one. Sometimes, if you have 2 parlors, you will notice that you have not entered one for a while, for a very long time.
Yeah.
How many vehicles
can you drive?
You know, if you are a good, you have this strong desire to always put on jeans, trousers. You end up having maybe about 20 or 30. But I bet you'll be shocked that in 2 months it's only one
that you'll be wearing.
You know, because of you just look at jeans, you don't wash it all the time. It's easy. The difficulty of removing the belt, putting in another one will just make you put that
jeans on.
So what are we really looking for? You know, again, what kind of words that can make you become more richer than Elon Musk?
Or Bill Gates.
Or even our Dangote, that you are struggling for the wealth every day. And rich people have passed on. I've never seen any man who carried this wealth, you know, to go. So, but if society is okay for all of us, then we will enjoy society. Look, the section of the Constitution that has to do with government responsibility says security
and welfare of the people.
Welfare of the people. It didn't make it say you want to make you a billionaire. That's simple. So if everybody gets good welfare, security, that is enough. Government should concentrate on all those ones.
All right,
it's unfortunate.
No, all right. Looking at the 2027 is fast approaching. You know, a lot of people are moving into APC. You made mention of liking opposition or not, but they said something that every man has a price. Do you have a price to join the ruling party?
No price.
So you're telling your constituency, you're telling Nigerians.
No price.
Oh no, that's strong words.
No. On the floor of the house, the first people who decamped, I stood up on the floor of the house. They are my very best good friends. One was behind me. And I openly, there are clips, there are video clips to all these things there. I openly said that they ought to have vacated their seats.
Exactly.
That is the provision of the Constitution.
Yes.
You know. And when the speaker was arguing with me that it's only the court, and that provision of the act did not talk about court.
Yes.
He said shall.
Yes.
You know.
So yes,
implementable. Activated.
Yes.
You know. So and when I was capping it up, I said the day you see me leave the Labour Party, that is the last day you are going to see me in the National Assembly. I'm not saying there are things that cannot make me leave the Labour Party, but if I dare leave, you will not see me as a National Assembly member again.
Exactly.
Yes.
Interesting. You know, something like this, resonates with the youth. It resonates with the people. I mean, like you said, at your age, there are certain things you can never do again, except it's what you want to do. You know, people looking at you, what do you tell Nigerian youths, for those who are scared to try? I know you probably were involved in many elections before you succeeded. How do you kind of motivate the youth to try to give attempts, in becoming leaders, so that they can also learn along the line?
It's really painful. It's really painful. Me, I don't fear to be blackmailed by the youth. When you say something, oh, you're not friendly to the youth, you're not friendly to the youth, and all those stuff. Look, the kind of things the youths are doing these days, too bad. We didn't even do them during our time. Okay. I was talking to a guy recently, telling him that, you see, all this sacrifice is for the youths of tomorrow.
Yes.
The guy is a youth. The guy told me that that these youths now, that they are even worse than also. Few days ago, I saw a student union president in one school in Abuja here, moving with convoy. And that guy has not even gone anywhere. He has not reached anywhere. He's moving with convoy. Me, I've never had convoy one day. I don't even have a driver. I was coming from Benin some days ago. I entered one of those transports.
Yes.
The guy was busy abusing all politicians. Especially the ones from Delta State.
By road you came or by air?
Road.
Honorable member.
What is wrong?
You don't know this man,
I was in the back seat. So the guy was saying, but all these politicians in Delta are so stupid. They all just decamped. All of them. I said, not all of them. I said, one guy is still remaining.
Yes.
He said, no. He said, no one. He said, they are all stupid. He said, actually talk that one. He said, if I talk that one, they will mob me. I said, no, one is still remaining. He said, So I mentioned the name.
Yes.
Smart guy. He just
Google it quickly.
The guy turned around, and said,
Now your brother.
are you here? What are you doing here? I asked him what is he doing there. You know. So look, the youth, this power, and there's no power anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no power anywhere. See, have we not seen former presidents, former governors, former National Assembly members? When you leave, what else is in you other than the way you were before you entered? In fact, in most cases, it's even worse.
Yes.
You know, because of that life, funny kind of life
Expectations.
you want to live. Look, the biggest debtors in Nigeria are the political officers.
I agree with you.
So what is envious about it? People are just playing gimmick, you know. You give the people the impression that things are so nice, and you have no, that's not right. I've educated Nigeria. So look, my but I'm not going to throw the baby and the bathwater away.
Yes, certainly.
They are still good youths, you know, and we must look forward, you know, towards bringing those good ones. You know, perhaps over a length of time, we'll have a better.
Honorable, you are in the public domain. Everybody knows your age. Honorable is like 60, will be 61 by August 25th, and
August 13th.
August 13th.
Yeah.
That's your birthday. Okay, I thought it was August 25th. Now, with this time, we still have people in politics and in position of authority that are older than you, but they make this country dry. What's your advice to them?
It's hypocrisy. So where we are going to, even at this my age, is closer than where we are coming from. I advocate that people should quit politics when they are like 60. The reason why I say so, those who design retirement age in public service, I worked in the public service for 33 years. Those who design retirement age and said public servants should retire at 60. If you have the opportunity to know or watch them at the time they were making that argument, you will see them talking about at 60 no energy anymore. The reasoning
the faculty
is becoming lower, you know, like that, and they are not really motivated in doing some certain things. That's exactly what you are saying, you know, here. If you look at the Senate, where you have governors retiring back
to the
Senate, what are they contributing?
Nothing, just about nothing.
That's just an example for you. What are they contributing? Nothing. They are sleeping. What about those governors of each president? Look, this current president, I don't want to chastise him too much. If I follow his antecedents, you know, to this time, he's a guy who I think could do better than what he's doing.
Exactly.
But what is his predicament? I am very, very confident is his age. It's his age. Because I'm not sure he's reading. You see, the very day before yesterday when they phoned me to say he assigned I saw it in one page. So I called the guy, sir, President assigned what? He said this B. This act that this B we just passed yesterday. He said yes, so he assigned it. I said, I put on the page that I'm not sure the president read that. You know, and I'm beginning to doubt until I wait for that copy that is coming from the president.
Yes.
I fear that there may have been further instructions into it that we probably didn't talk about. You remember the issue of the tax reform law? You know, like, so I'm waiting patiently, quick to get the copy that is coming from the president. So old people, they are not expected to be in government.
If this president right now, as it is right now, say today, I'm no longer contesting election for the next presidential election, will you hail him as a Democrat?
As a father, I would just lie down in front.
Interesting. I think you are not going to be the only one, honorable.
I would lie down in front.
We are going to be more than millions of Nigerians lying down to say
Thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Father.
Now, Papa,
honorable, it has been an interesting time talking with you. I mean, we could continue for hours. I think we're going to call you back. I hope you come again, sir.
I enjoy you guys.
And then we'll talk about the Labour Party.
We'll not talk about the Labour Party more. All right, thank you. Thank you for being with us. We'll be right back very shortly on another episode with Honorable, but not today. Maybe not next week. Sometime this year. We are looking at inviting.